from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff, to take you on a meandering journey. Eventually, I'll take you on a meandering journey via bedtime story, but I'll believe it or not, it'll take me forever to even get there. Talk about whatever the opposite of buying time. If you could combine the phrases buying time and wasting time, when both of them are said in a way that's in the middle of the way those words could be used, not like my Nana, the Nana which lives within my mind. I don't know if you're new. You've never heard of the Nana. You probably never heard of the Nana which lives in my mind or within me. But maybe you are. Maybe you do. You already say, "Wait a second, I do have a Nana," and hopefully you have some sort of fairy godmother-like Nana that lives within you. Alas, my Nana that lives within me is not like that, and she kind of sounds like, "Oh, there he goes again. Waste. Oh boy, you're just wasting all our time there." That sounded a little bit like Ray, but I'm here trying to buy time and you're here wasting it. I guess she'd say something like that. What are you buying time or waste it? You can't buy time when you're wasting it, and you can't waste time when you're buying it. She lives deep within me, though I've learned to soothe her and bring. Nana, would you like a blanket? Can I rub your corns later? I don't know what corns are, Nana, still. Luckily, this is the very beginning of a sleep podcast, so I can say things like that. But happy to do it. Especially since you only live within me. It's a little bit less work. It's listening to you. But anyway, I love you, Nana. I love the Nana. If you have a Nana that lives within you, or you're just like, I thought this was a sleep podcast that I was tuning into, checking out. Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me. It is a sleep podcast, believe it or not. It's a podcast here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff while you fall asleep. So it is a bit different, but I am really glad you're here. What we got coming up, this is a show to be here. I'll explain it more later. It's different. It's weird. It's strange, mildly amusing, and it's for your benefit if it can help you. So what most people say is just give the show a few tries, see how it goes. And what we have coming up is support. So the paying for the podcast is optional. Then a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And then later on, our bedtime story, episodically modular series about a couple of friends wandering the universes. So I'm really glad you're here. If you're new, welcome. I hope this show can help you out. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. And if you're a super listener, like Sleep With Me makes your life so much better that right now you're saying to yourself, man, this podcast has improved my life. And I see it improve my life for the next month, the next 2 months, the next 2 years. And you say, how can I help the podcast that helps me? These are the ways you could do it. Thank you. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I'm talking about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress in your life, you got to think about taking the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. I've been sleeping in my Helix probably longer than you've been listening to this podcast. And I love my bed so much. I have a move coming up, and I'm trying to decide because I have to move in a couple different stages just due to things outside of my control. And I know I'm going to be in my apartment, but most of my stuff's going to be gone. And I'm like, should I keep my Helix there and then buy another Helix for my next destination? Or should I pay to have that Helix moved, but I don't want to be without it because I don't think I'll be able to sleep without it because I love sleeping in my Helix. And I know it'll be super easy if I take the Helix quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Maybe my needs and feel preferences have changed. So I could see what my options are. I could choose between a Luxe mattress, a Helix Elite, or just, whatever comes up in my search. I know I'll have choices. So the question is, do you have that kind of relationship with your mattress that you don't want to be without it? Because if you don't, what are you waiting for, right? You could have a Helix shipped straight to your door free of charge and get testing it out. But the first thing you need to do is just take that quiz, because Helix has you and your needs in mind, your feel preferences. How do you like to sleep? How does your partner like to sleep? So it is time for you to get a new bed. Because trust me, this summer, I do not want to be without my Helix mattress. And Helix has got an amazing deal lined up for you. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their 4th of July sale happening now. This offer is exclusive for listeners to Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive 4th of July sale offer. That's 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. It was the Scoots, and if you listen to this podcast every night, if it's been part of your life for weeks, months, even years, then I'm talking to you right now, and I'm trying to be direct with you. You're a super listener, and that means that the show's a part of your life, right? You've probably been, even if you're a new super listener, you probably know a lot about me. You've probably gotten to know me pretty well. And, I'm imperfect, right? You can hear it in these things. Sometimes I got a little bit extra emotion or concern. But if you're listening and hear me right now and you haven't decided not to support the show, if you've decided you're not going to support Sleep With Me, I'm not trying to change your mind. If you have not decided, or you've been putting off deciding, or you said, hey, it's up to somebody else to support the show, you're the only person listening and hearing me right now, and that's not an exaggeration. So you could imagine there's somebody else that might step up, but I'm talking to you, because we do need your help so this show can be here for you in the future and everybody else in the future. And you can support the show by signing up for Sleep With Me Plus if you've been hearing this, or being an active member of our referral program. But if you're not going to support the Sleep With Me, I understand that. But do me one favor, support something else that makes your life better. Something you listen to more than this, you read more than this, you watch more than this. If you got something that makes your life better, whether it's at the day or the night, show it some love. Support the show. Or support the creator, support the writer, or support the musician. But if Sleep With Me is your thing, if this podcast is the one thing you come back to night after night, especially multiple times a night, if you're an all-night listener, you're who I'm trying to get a hold of right now, please consider supporting the show. Right now, we've got a deal for all-night listeners. You could sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. You'll get 20% off the boyfriend tier, only if you use that link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night, and you'll change the trajectory of the show and help us to be there for you and everybody else in the future. For all your all-night listening, your multiple night listening, your multiple episode listening. Thanks. Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound or on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support your scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcript.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Oh, and hey, if you're listening to this, the referral program, if you're not in a position to financially support the show, is a huge way to support the show and get free access to Sleep With Me Plus. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. But there's also a tiny way anybody can help out the show. It's free. It helps out the show a little bit. And that's following the podcast wherever you listen to it or commenting if you listen on Spotify or YouTube. It really helps other people discover the show, helps you stay up to date on the latest episodes. And only 50% of people follow or subscribe. It's free to follow or subscribe in podcast apps. So if you do that, it just gives it helps people discover the show and it helps you stay up to date on the show. So follow or subscribe in your podcast app. That'll help out the show a little bit. Not necessarily keep us going forever, but I'd appreciate it. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. That's in every podcast app, too. That has a story-only episodes that'll add it to your sleepy repertoire. Thanks, and what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble staying asleep, trouble getting to sleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do. So, you know what I haven't said? Smooth. I'm going to attempt to pat it, smooth it, and rub it down. That safe place. Yeah, a couple listeners love when I say that because it's in the 80s style. I'm going to smooth it, I'm going to pat it, and I'm going to rub it down and say safe place. And you say, like, in an inviting way, but differently than if someone does that in real life. This one's at a distance. You know, I'm not, like, I may be smoothing and patting and rubbing it down, but also I'll be saying, in case you need that later, I'm going to be somewhere else, so you don't have to come sit next to me. Like, that's what my Nana would want. And then she'd either want to have me unwrap her... Sorry, this is not nice, but it's just true. Have me unwrap her butterscotch candies or root beer barrels. Yes, Nana, I know. Which I have nothing against. I just... she's an archetypal Nana within me, so she does like the occasional butterscotch candy. She's also baffled. And I'm sorry, Nana. You know, I just have to use you for an example right here. It's okay to be baffled. Time's passed me by, too, believe me. But when she tries to give out butterscotch candies or root beer barrels in the autumnal season, she's always bad. I say, yeah, Nana, I get it. Believe me, I have so many parallels for my own life, Nana. I'm not here to judge, particularly since you're part of me. So obviously, you know, we're together. What was I talking about? Smooth and patting it, rub it down. That means, hey, could you come check this out? Send my voice across the deep dark night. I'm going to send my voice across the deep dark night. Use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. Oh, wait, that's later in the intro. Tossing, turning, matters, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is introduce a safe place and create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts, things on your mind about the past, the present, the future. Thoughts, you know, thinking thoughts that you're thinking about or your mind is thinking about. Like Nana would say, there he goes again. She might even say that about my thoughts. And I say, wait, are you one of my thoughts? There he goes again. She calls me the not. If you're new, it's been a while since she's made an appearance. She calls me the not bad boy. She says, don't pay him any mind. He's the not bad boy. And believe me, you know, like if you don't ever want to be called the not bad boy, there's no context. I mean, unless you make a sleep podcast, that's the only place where you say, might just work here. Because she means, oh, you like bad boys? Well, don't bother, don't mind him. He's the not bad boy. But she doesn't mean it like the opposite of that, like I'm good. She does mean if I tried to dance to the song bad, it wouldn't work. But she also means, I guess, what does it even mean? Not bad. I'm not bad. I mean, that's what the whole goal of this podcast is to be. It's to be not that show that's Sleep With Me. It's not bad. So I guess I won finally. Nana, you were accurate the whole time. I didn't even realize how accurate you were. One day, they say everything old becomes new again. And every trend, I don't know when butterscotch candies or root beer barrels were trending. I did have one recently as a part of a fundraiser. So someone was like, yeah, these are back in. But if those are truisms, that would mean that they should hold true. Then one day you say, what are all those bad boys doing? If they just stand around helping people and sucking on butterscotch candies and root beer barrels. It's all they do. They do that stealth service where they help people and they don't take credit for it. And they pick up after themselves. Oh boy, what happened? And I think to myself, what a wonderful world, Nana. But I'm supposed to be introducing a sleep podcast. So it could be thoughts, things on your mind like those. Those are some thoughts that ran through my mind for the last 4 minutes. It could be feelings coming up for you, emotions related to any of those things. Or, thoughts that are just, or feelings that are just there, that, or anticipation, or you're getting over something. It could be changes. It could be physical sensations that are related to thoughts or feelings that are just there that you're dealing with, or that are there for you. It could be changes in time, temperature, routine. Maybe you work a different schedule. Maybe your work schedule changed. Maybe you're going through something. Maybe you're getting over something. Maybe you're in the middle of something. Or maybe, like me, this thing is a part of your life. Having to try to stay malleable around sleep. That it's always something different, but it's always there. And you just kind of try to learn to adapt and be kind and patient with it. Kind of like a relationship with my internal Nana, though I did kind of it's just true, though, Nana. I mean, just don't, I told you, one day you could give out butterscotch candies when the trick-or-treaters come by, but it's just not, today's not that day. Like, one day it'll come back around, it'll be breaking news. I guess then luckily you probably have plenty of them somewhere in one of those many stacks that I imagine you have. Because otherwise, this is breaking news. The worldwide shortage on butterscotch candies due to the butterscotch candy fad. Okay, I realize there's people listening that like butterscotch candies. This is just about archetypes and within me. I'm the mistaken one. Also, I think they're pretty good. So it's just like the more buttery, the better, as they say in the butterscotch candy biz. Or there's people that are on scotch. They say, no, I'm a scotchy. I'm not a buttery. I want my butterscotch candy scotchy. I say, okay, well, that's your choice. I prefer butter. I'm on the butter side. Just trying to butter you up, Nana, with some butterscotch. Would you prefer a butter or a scotchy? She shrugged and looked at me because she's like, those don't exist. Okay, so where were we? Oh, whatever's keeping you awake, I'm here to take your mind off it and keep you company so you could fall asleep. So this show is very different. The way it works, I said it earlier when I got mixed up. I send my voice across the deep dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones and pointless meanders to distract you almost, or to keep you company, or to soothe you, or to comfort you, or to barely engage you. There is some light humor at the beginning of the show. Humor-like, even if you're not paying me any mind, it's humor-like stuff. But what do you call it? So like the reason I make this show is I've had trouble sleeping my entire life on and off, and I've tried a ton of different things. So I don't know if you're anything like that. And I've gone through phases where I've dreaded bedtime. And then I go through phases even now where just this week it's been a different thing. But I have my bedtime routine, which is mostly reliable. And this show could be a part of your bedtime routine, could be temporarily a part of your bedtime routine, or a long-term part of your bedtime routine, or introduce you to a bedtime routine, and then you no longer need the show. There's plenty of other ways, too. But I make the show because you deserve a good, like a bedtime you don't have to dread. A bedtime without rigmarole, and the rest you need so your life is more manageable. And ideally, you get the rest you need on a regular basis so you could flourish. And the other reason I make the show is that I've been there, right? Like I just talked about. And a lot of other people listening have been there too in a bunch of different ways. And a lot of us, even if we can't relate to exactly how you feel, we feel for you because I know how it feels for me when I can't sleep. And I feel for you and however it feels for you or whatever it looks like or however it plays out. And I talk about this because it's when it was the toughest. But it's when you start dreading bedtime on Friday evening for Sunday night, right? Or right now I'm in a little bit of it, and I'm not honestly not looking forward to going to bed tonight, even though I'm tired, because that part of me is. But I still know for me, I say, okay, well, I'll still try to do all my things. So that's the thing. Like people get it here, and some people really get it because some people are listening somewhere else in the world from where you are that really understand how you feel. And they really are rooting for you. And that is as rebellious and as countercultural as you can get nowadays. They're rooting for you just because they say, man, I've felt like that too. And I hope this podcast can help you like it helped me. So just see how it goes. And maybe one day you're that welcoming person too. But this show is different, right? You got here, you're tired, you're skeptical, you're doubtful. Those are natural reactions. What is this? When are you going to put me to sleep? That's a natural way to feel. And I get it, right? Because that's how most people get here. You wouldn't be at your best if you're looking for a sleep podcast. But the thing is, I'm going to try to help in the only way, or the way I've learned how to do it over the years, in a way that I happen to be. Not everybody is equipped with an internal Nana they can converse with, and one that's so generously forgiving that she even gets over the fact that I was giving her a hard time about butterscotch candies and root beer barrels. And she's grateful that I didn't mention the pennies wrapped in, what is that? Was that masking tape? She said dime. So yeah, sorry, Nana. Yeah, to be sure. Sorry, Nana. I'm sorry, but you are within me. So you're not you're real, but you're not really in the world. So it's a little bit different. This is an internal dialogue. So not everybody has that, right? And I get to use it to help you out. But it does take some getting used to. And I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You know, the not bad boy is a very niche thing. To be the not bad boy, there's not a whole lot of use to it, except helping people fall asleep. That it helps. So the thing is, if you decide we're not a fit, like I'm getting a feeling though, the next time I try to get a knock on Nana's door, she's going to be like, not interested. If that's you, I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. So you could check it out, and there's other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff on there, because everything I said is still true, even if you strongly dislike me, which, by the way, is a common reaction. And I set up that website so you don't need to spend any time letting me know that. Hundreds of thousands of people have. So I set up a website to say, hey, this is a win-win, because maybe you do find, and a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people have found things that have helped them. So check that out. But first, give the show a few tries, just because it does take some getting used to. That's what most regular listeners who pay for the podcast, including an email I got this morning, said, man, yeah, at first I couldn't stand the show, or I just didn't get it, or I was like waiting for it to start. And then on the third try, I realized, I fell asleep at some point during his rambling. So just see how it goes, because it's a podcast you just barely listen to, which does take some getting adjustment. It's also a podcast that doesn't put you to sleep. I'm here. There's no pressure to fall asleep. I'm going to be here over an hour, so you don't have to think about when you're going to fall asleep. There's over 600 episodes in this free podcast feed for you to check out, so you don't have to think about it, because my job is to be a voice of comfort and distraction, to be your boar friend, your boar bae, your boar sib, your boar bud, your neighbor, your boar bestie, your Boris Borloff, your boorman, your boars, your boar sib, your boar bud, your boar bruh, your best boyfriend forever. I had thought of another one yesterday during the intro, but now I already forgot what it was. But really, I'm here whether you're awake or asleep, because there's people listening who can't sleep at all or who need a break during the day who listen. And I'm here to keep them company and distract them, just like I'm here to keep you company and distract you. But that does take some getting used to, right? I say, what is it? What? Yeah. So just see how it goes. But yeah, it's kind of like having a TV on in the other room, or a friend, or a show on or under the pillow, something that kind of engages you in a friendly way. That's what my job is. So yeah, or if you wake up during the night, you say, I need something to take my mind off stuff for a little while. So that's what I'm here to do. The only other thing I want to tell you about is the structure of the show. The show's structured in a very specific way to benefit the maximum amount of people it can, but it is adjustable. So depending on if you become a regular listener, how you want to listen, you have some choices. But there is a reason we do the stuff the way we do it. So let me try to explain it just so I can meet you where you are. Because usually when people wonder about it, you wonder about it strongly. And I want to put that at ease so you could get the rest you need. So all our shows start off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I say something mildly silly so you feel seen and welcomed in. And you say, okay, check that podcast out. The only portion of the podcast we lost is like the butterscotch candy portion. But only a portion of them, because, I mean, most people get it. You say, well, if you have an internal nana, you're going to have butterscotch candy. And pennies or dimes wrapped in whatever that stuff is, masking tape. It's just a normal thing. So it's okay. So I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, structure of the show. Okay, so that's the very beginning of the show. Then there's support, so that paying for the show is optional. The majority of people that listen to this version of the podcast prefer something because they're only here temporarily or they're not in a position. They prefer something ad-supported they can listen to linearly as they unwind and then later on fall asleep. But that doesn't mean there's not more ways to listen to the show. That's just how the majority of people listen. So that's why the support is there. So the paying for the show is optional. If you want something ad-free, you could get that at Sleep With Me Plus. Then there's a long meandering intro separate from the support. It's a show within a show. It's been going for about 20 minutes now, where I attempt to explain what the podcast is and I go off topic and get mixed up. But I'm following the same structure every time. It's basically like I kind of have directions of where to get. I just don't know how I'm going to get there. And the reason for that is it's really important. One, it gives everybody time to hang out and wind down in their own way. So you could be getting ready for bed. You could be doing a chill activity. You could be just barely, just getting comfortable. But the intro is part of a wind down routine. And that's what works for me and is shown to work for most people most of the time. It doesn't work for me all the time. But having a wind down is an important part of this. Now, if you prefer no wind down, we have a story-only version of this podcast that comes out twice a week in all your podcast apps, Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. So that's another way to listen. And also you get all that on Sleep With Me Plus, too. So that's like if you don't want the intros. But the intro is meant to ease you into bedtime. And maybe a couple percentage of people fall asleep during the intros. But, yeah, so that's the intro. Then there's support. Then there'll be our bedtime story. All told, we'll be here over an hour to keep you company and take your mind off. So I'm really glad you're here. Myself and a team of people work really hard on this show, which ideally the content makes you wonder how that's even possible, but it is true because we really believe in the purpose of the show, which is to bring you comfort and distraction in the deep, dark nights so you could fall asleep. Whether you're just going through something right now and you're only going to be here temporarily, or you're a regular listener and you're here night after night after night, we want to be here for you. And that's been the goal of the show the whole 11 years, or maybe the first couple of years. I was like, can I keep making this or whatever? But yeah, our goal is to be here. So it's important. And if the show is important to you, like you're important to the show and you are a regular listener, think about these are the ways you say, how can I help? These are the ways you could do that. Thanks. Everybody, this is Scoots right now, and if you're listening to me right now, you're hearing me. You know I've been doing these very targeted reads, right? Because this isn't for new listeners, this message. It isn't for occasional listeners. It isn't for people that listen from time to time. This is for people with Sleep With Me is not just a part of your bedtime routine, but it's like something that's a part of your bedtime routine 5+ nights a week. If you listen 5 nights a week, if you listen to 1 or more episodes a night, and if you listen all night long, please hear me out. If you're willing to listen. If you're not willing to listen or you're not interested, don't worry about it. I'm only trying to I'm not trying to change anybody's mind here. I'm only trying to get through the people that haven't heard me yet or haven't listened yet. If you've already decided supporting the show's not for you and you're an all-night listener, don't worry about it. But if you are an all-night listener and you want to continue to be an all-night listener and you're listening to me right now, you're hearing me, you are a super listener, right? And you're who I'm trying to get it through to. Ads never have covered the cost of super listening, particularly all-night listening, because companies don't pay for ads that no one hears or listens to. And I think like super listening and all night listening and 5 night a week listening is what makes Sleep With Me special and why I want it to be there. And I want this ad supported, listener supported free version to be there, but it can only be there when the people that value it the most overcome whatever it is. Like if your mind can't be changed, that's not changeable. But if you're putting it off, if you're tuning me out, if you're saying one day, like if you've thought about it and there's just something small in your way, if you could think about signing up to support the show, it would be huge. And we really do need your support. If you're an all-night listener or a 5 night a week listener, 5 or more nights a week. And we have a great deal, 20% off the Boyfriend tier for all-night listeners. That's built with all-night listeners in mind. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. The first 5 people to sign up, only with that link, though, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. It's just 20% off the Boyfriends tier only. But the first 5 people will also get a notebook that I used to outline or write an episode sent to them. But you'll also be a part of something special, and I really appreciate it. Thanks. All right, buddy, it's Scoots here. This is our episodically modular series, Get Besos. It's a tale of 2 friends, Richard Warren and James Cash, who spent some time. So they're post. This is our 4th season of this show, I think. They lived in a post-earthly realm known as the Beige World, limbo, purgatory, and they were titans. They were former titans of retail industry. And they decided they were following, like, they're not supposed to get the news up there, but they were following it. Richard Warren was, and he said, hey, there's other people upsetting our former the retail industries. This is how you build a sleep podcast. You might be like, I'm sorry, what? But yeah, these are the makings of a sleep podcast. So they said to themselves, or discussed, because they're friends, hey, there's this guy, Jiff, who's really upsetting the retail industries down there. What do you say we go down there, get him in a figurative sense? Maybe not a figurative sense, maybe not. And they said, explain to him, hey, are you sure you want to, don't you believe in anchor stores and those kind of things? And so they left their post-earthly realm. And over the course of the first 3 seasons, what they found out was, like, one, you're not supposed, if you're assigned to a post-earthly realm, you're not supposed to leave there. That did not necessarily get recorded with them. But they also found out, which I guess is the other side of it, is that, the universe is so resilient, including the post-earthly realms. And so during the first 3 seasons, they did do quite a bit of disruption, but it all worked out, I guess, apparently, according to them. Okay, this is not coming from me. And so this is their 4th time where they're back in the Beige World, and Richard Warren had been keeping a list of people he was fantasizing needed to be needed some assistance in other post-earthly realms. The most famous one would be somebody like Sisyphus. He said, he remembers Sisyphus differently, but now that it's just us discussing it, can I even remember who Sisyphus is? But he said, hey, let's go. This Sisyphus could use some help. Let's go get Sisyphus out of there and say, hey, what's up with this post-earthly realm? Let's take him to another one. Now, a lot of the people he decided to save, I think the first person they saved was Javert, Inspector Javert from Les Mis. Now, another thing that at least James became aware of was that when you do that, when you believe in something fictional like Inspector Javert in a post-earthly realm, again, I'm not trying to rock any boats here. I'm only translating the information I have, which is written in terrible handwriting. He said, as soon as you imagine Javert in a post-earthly realm, he actually ends that energy, whatever, he actually is there. So now we actually got to go find Javert or not. I guess you could say, now Javert lives in a non-positive post-earthly realm. So whatever. But actually in this one, Javert's mother said, can you go get my kid? More or less. And they did. But he had a list of other people. He was also still fixated on having Jiff learn some lessons. So apparently this happens in between the episodes. So this is information I don't fully have. Richard Warren had given his list to Jiff in their post-earthly realm. I think Jiff is still an earthbound human, and Jiff is somehow going in between these post-earthly realms, independent of Richard Warren and James. Maybe has his own agenda. We're not following that story currently. But Richard Warren only had one copy of the list other than the one in his mind. So they're trying to figure out where on the list Jiff might be and intersect him, and they haven't been successful at that either. They also hired the Big Farm in the Sky PI, which that's the most sensible thing I've ever heard. And he has not been able to assist them thus far in finding Jiff either. Though it does seem like Jiff is involved in some sort of reorganization of post-earthly realms. But I can't be, I'm pretty certain about that. Reorganization, refurbishments, like it's almost like post-earthly realms are entering an industrial age, which makes that does not, to Jiff it might make perfect sense. So where are we at? Richard and James are trying to find Jiff still. They're going to probably could do a little brainstorming, and, we'll just follow their adventures, listen in on them for some time. And, there's no better time than right now to have our Hollywood announcer, Hollywood area, greater Los Angeles area, the greatest. He puts the great in the like when I see him, I go, hubba, hubba. He puts it all. He's from the greater Los Angeles, greater metropolitan. You actually put the metropolitan, if I could name a cookie after a human being and then rename it, so if there was a cookie I'll say his name second, even though, and it was originally named a cookie after you, and then you said, or a suit, but I either one, like Mint Milano, I think it would be fancier than that, so don't worry. I'm not saying I don't have any, that's from Pepperidge Farms. This would be super high end, maybe just at independent shops or whatever. But if we originally called it your name, but then you said, my friend, I don't need any cookies named after me, then I would call it the Metropolitan, maybe. But this is, I think this is je ne sais quoi, saying the Metropolitan is, in my mind at least, captures calling a cookie. It would have to live up to its name, obviously. But if I called it, like, is that je ne sais quoi? Like, I'd say this cookie's called the Metropolitan, obviously. Used to be called the same name as our Hollywood announcer, Mr. Antonio Banderas. The friends beyond the binary. So, ladies and gentlemen, the boys and girls, it's time to cookie, crunch, and get Besos. Yeah. Whoosh. Holy, talk about a pro. How did you even do that? That was not written. I know he was holding up a script like he's going to read it. He just made all that up. He worked because in his heart, I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't like to have a cookie named after them, right? Maybe the Keebler Elves. They'd say, just leave us alone. Ever since we got cookies named, that's actually a company, though, I think. But they'd say, I guess maybe Keebler took over the elves. They started, he branded the elves. I didn't think about this, Keebler's Elves. But they would say, we would prefer to have never been. We'd just prefer to be living in our tree, doing our thing. We don't want the attention. So, I don't know maybe they were just, before that we were just elves. Elves in the cookie, maybe, have we done an episode about that? It seems like we have. Yeah, no, we're just cookie elves. But, no, not elves made of cookies. Anyway, you humans, it's with words. We wish we were never, no cookies are actually named after us, unfortunately. Teddy Grahams, that's a little general. I'm sorry, but welcome. It's time for our series, Get Besos. Thanks, Antonio, and here you go, everybody. Buddy. What's with the frown, James? Well, I'm just, I don't know. Well, James, I got good news for you. We're going to go, we're stopping everything we're doing? No. I was just wondering if you could pick anyone for us to go, I'm just trying to I just want to help with your frown. So I was saying, if you could pick anyone for us to go help next, who would you pick? Well, I guess, did we ever help Sisyphus? Because isn't Sisyphus the original person, the archetype for this whole situation? James, I'm pretty sure we rescued Sisyphus. Well, man, I'm actually very distractible too, Richie, but I don't know that we did. I thought we were going to do it, and then we got distracted. Okay, James, I'm not talking about who you should want to rescue. I'm talking about in your heart, James. Not your sweaty back heart. I'm talking about your heart, your filial heart? I don't know, James. When you think about who you say, hey, they got everybody has it wrong about this person, or I really feel this is so unfair, so tough. Wow, you're really asking me that? No, I just did ask you that. Well, there's a lot of options, I think. But are you talking about real people or gods and goddesses? James, please stop humoring me, because I know you have an answer, but you're just not. I thought we were friends. You have an answer that popped in your head. You're just not. You're just not comfortable sharing it. Wait a second. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. When I said. Before I said Sisyphus, a name popped in your head. James, come on. Am I right or what? What's it? James, give me the name. No, it's silly. Name popped in my head, but I know why the name popped in my head. It didn't have to do with the question. Okay, James, this isn't about, pitter-pattering hearts or sweaty backs, is it? Because I don't want to continue this conversation. No, definitely not. But it's just silly. It's like kid stuff or something. But it was a name, right? Yeah, it was a name. but it was just a name that popped in my head. It wasn't like, it wasn't that is it someone you feel is misunderstood? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it just, it doesn't mean that, is it someone that, could use some help? Yeah, but Richie, listen, in order to pass the time, and I know I've been just reading these comics, and so it's just because I was reading the comics and passing the time. And I also know that I don't want to bring it up because I know at some point there's going to be a movie and it'll have to related to this, but different probably. Well, when is the movie, James? Well, time's fluid. So like, let's just imagine that, well, I know we were reading the comics, or I was reading the comics in the first few months of 2025 when we stopped there. But I know we're moving around in time, and at some point there'll be a movie with it in there. Okay, James, let me just ask you a question. Do you trust your gut? Has your gut ever brought you anything in your life? Yeah, but my gut doesn't have anything to do with this. It's just the comic books I was reading, and they're in my head because I'm enjoying them, and we got to stop talking about it. Why? Just because you don't trust your gut anymore? No, because it's fiction, and I would prefer, in this particular circumstance, it definitely remains fiction. James, we could be doing something, and you're really wasting my time. I mean, that'd be fine if we were in the beige room, but this is like, give me a name now. I'm not, James. I'm gonna have to change my behavior. If you don't give me a name. Yeah, no. Okay, well, I'll start going through his stuff, and then I'll find the comics, and then I'll just figure out who it was. Okay, James, which comic? You don't have to tell me the character, but which comic? Okay, well, I just started reading them. So the Silver Surfer is the comic. The Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer. And tell me more about what does the Silver Surfer need help with? So we're just discussing the comic book now, right? Yeah. Okay, well, it's like kind of repetitive, but I'm not, I kind of bounced around a little bit, but he gets stuck a lot, actually. Oh, James, interesting. And what can you give me some examples? Okay, well, the first time he was stuck he got stuck with Galactus, helping Galactus. Don't want to get too into it, but he basically was working for Galactus permanently in a job he didn't really want to do. Okay, so stuck with Galactus, so he could use some help with that. Well, it kind of depends. But then he got stuck on Earth, and he wanted to get home. He's not from Earth. Okay, that's interesting, James. And then there was another time, I'm in the middle of it. He's stuck in a non-positive or post-earthly realm. Oh, James, this is interesting stuff. Who's this Galactus? So he had a boss named Galactus. Yes, his boss. Galactus eats. He snacks on planetoids, and he dines on planets. Wow, James, that's. What do you mean? So, well, that's like, that's what he does. Like, it's hard to describe, but he's kind of like a space. He's a large being. Well, obviously, James, or maybe he has a big mouth, just a big mouth. And he constantly has to do that because he gets hungry for energy, just like everybody else, I guess. Okay, James, interesting. And do you think he likes doing that? It's a question. It's a good question. I mean, he has to, and he needs someone to find food for him, basically. So that's what the Silver Surfer's job was. Called a herald, I think. But again, I just started reading from the beginning, so I'm not positive on any of this. So So the Silver Surfer, huh? Yeah, I think it was from the Silver Age of Comics, too. Silver, well, I'm glad you've given us our next mission, James. No. I don't want to be involved. I just wanted to we were just talking about comic books. Oh, no, I'm not talking about the Silver Surfer, James, or Galactus or whatever. Or you said we're not going to try to rescue Galactus. No, James said, from what? Interrupt his lunch? Is imagine, James, I'll let you have your comic books. No, Silver is what I was talking about. Well, I was just afraid. That's why I didn't want to bring it up, because of Galactus. Okay, James, I'm trying to move on, and you're trying to distract me with your comic books. I was trying to make small talk because you were frowning. We don't need to defictionalize your comic book friends. They could stay in the comics. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, because his ego and your ego, I don't know if there's room, and then this would just not be. James, I'm not interested in Galactus. I'm not playing a game here. I mean, what kind of name is Galactus anyway? It's made up. It's a comic book name. I mean, does he run any businesses? Can we just, not that I know of, no. James, do you know if he prefers one flavor, like a Milky Way versus a Nebula or something? No, I don't know that. I think I'm only 4 issues, and then I jumped around a couple of them. Okay, James, so let's get to the point. Your Silver reminded me of what we need to do next. It's a small world, this Silver discussion, James. Well, I guess in Galactus' case, it'd be a moose-boosh small world. James, we're moving on. Okay, so what about a small world? No, like a Silver small world is what we're talking about now. But that's funny. Galactus' ship in some of the comics is like a Silver small world. James, what are you going on and on about? I'm talking about children right now, James. The children of the small world of children. Not about, they would like comic books, I'm sure, but, okay, but you asked me who I wanted to save. Right, because you were feeling down, and then by osmosis or whatever you want to call it, you helped me connect the dots of what we need to do next. So well done, James. Okay, how did I help you connect the dots? Well, I remembered a task on the list I gave to Jiff. So, like you and your comics are useful, and your frown. This is what a leader does, James. Take your frown, turn it around. And and make it something into something great. Okay, so you remembered something on the list you gave to Jiff. Yes, the children of small worlds. I'm sorry, what? The children of small worlds. You mean the ride? James, it's an attraction, not a ride. You mean the animatronic children? In the attraction, or the children riding the ride? Attraction. No, the children in the Silver world, James. Okay. Are we talking about the same thing? Yeah, we need to recover those children from the silver non-positive post-earthly realm that they're in. The Silver world in the children of the small world's Silver world is on my list. Okay. Can you I gotta back up, Richie. I need you to explain this to me. I'm a small children that reads too many comic books, and I'm going to help you, but I don't understand how to help you. James, sometimes I forget about you, buddy. Buddy. Okay. So remember all the times we snuck out of purgatory to you go to theme parks? Yeah. Okay, right. And remember, I started to. There was another list I made. Remember what it was called? Well, I remember you making a lot of lists. Some of which they were spread. Yeah, I don't remember which list. Notes. Well, I called it politely. Notes for Walt Disney. Okay. Hey, do we have any idea where he is? James, I need you to focus here. So when we would go to the theme parks, I would point out a lot of improvements, that had to be made and things I could do to help Walt Disney, and things like that. Strong suggestion. Mistake. I mean, it could have been notes on Walt Disney's mistakes. Things he couldn't see that I could have helped him with. Okay, can you tell me some of the stuff that's on the list just to refresh my memory? Oh, of course, James. I mean, actually, some of them I've heard they're following some of my advice. They got, you put it out there in the universe, they get it. Charge more, less things to do, more walking around, or wait. If you're walking around, you're probably going to spend money. You could, either wait in line or walk around and spend money. Or, James, how about just pay? Okay, great. Some of the things are probably going to, like charging for soap, that one they haven't done yet. And one I can't remember. I could see it in my head, sawdust. Sawdust? What do you think it meant, Richie? James, I don't know, but sawdust. I think I should put sawdust. Okay, I mean, so... Those are the things those were notes for Disney. And there was something else on that list that then made it to the list for Jif, is what you're saying. James, nice job. And what was that? Okay, it looked like this. What's up with these kids in the silver world at the end of the ride? And then... how could, I was very upset with, it may have been only really scribbles, James, because I said, what is this? How could you do this? Okay, how could they do what? Disney, how could they do that to the small children of the world? Okay, can you go through, again, remember, I'm not that great. Can you go through really slow? Explain it to me from the beginning of the ride, maybe. I'm your assistant to talk to Walt's assistant or something. Or I'm your assistant that's going to talk to Walt's assistant or something. You know what I mean? James, I don't think you could get that job without my recommendation. Maybe you could do popcorn. Okay, just pretend, you know what I mean? I have no understanding of any of this, so please just help me. Can you attraction-splain me? Oh, James, okay, so, just tell me where it went, where it goes wrong. So tell me about, it's a small world, right? No. It's a world of small children, right? Okay, so there's a boat ride where you go through the world of small children. And, I'll just go through this. So first of all, you say, what's this name? It's a world of small children. There's nothing so let's just assume that change was made. And there's a lot of other stuff, but let's just stick with the big stuff. Okay. Or the big one at the end. But basically, you get on this ride, right? And you go across the world, and the small children of the world are there to entertain you as you go through on your boats. And basically, if you're on the ride, you're just on the ride, and the small children of the world are there somewhat to be amusing and sing to you. But it's a little bit too realistic because the children, they're not very good at doing shows. And all they want to so they only sing this one repetitive song that clearly they wrote. It's not simple enough, so they sing, I don't know, they sing the song, I guess, and it seems like they want to be, the people riding the ride or whatever, they're just not visionary. They're children, I guess. Aren't they? But they're animatronics, right, Richie? Okay, so the children are singing, let me just think, I don't know, just be like, just entertain us already. Okay, I'm not, can you tell me about the song, what you don't like about the song? James, it's the same song over and over again, like where they're asking for things, once for all. What does that even mean? Once for all. We're a small world of children, all in all, or something like that. And then, we want a world tinsel, a world with toys, stuff like that. I say, why you get me? You're supposed to be entertaining me, not asking for me things. This is why I was taking these notes. And there's just something with the kids, because they're animatronics. Okay, I haven't even gotten to the part that's upsetting to me. So I'm going to need you to really use your imagination, James, and put yourself in the shoes of these children. Okay, I'll try. I'm going to try. Okay, so imagine you're one of the children of the small world, and you live in your world, right? Wherever. It's different parts of the world, each part of the ride. Yeah, I've gone on the ride with you. Were your eyes closed or what? And you're on this ride, right? And you got to sing this song to entertain people. They obviously are got it, like you have feelings about them because they're just going through. It's like your job. But at some point, James, at the end of the day, job over, right? You're done entertaining these people and you got a place to go back to. You got other kids to hang out with. There's other, whatever beings that aren't kids. You might even have a penguin for a best friend. And you're in your own world. And so, you get me. I don't know all the details, James, because they wouldn't let me out of the boat. Okay, but at the end of the day, they all go home. Right, so the workday ends, the ride ends, they all go home to their houses or whatever. Right, for the night, till the next workday. Maybe they get, they have, I don't know, maybe they have 2 days off. Okay, so their workday ends, they go home. And this is what's bothering you? Oh, no, except for the last part of the ride, James. The silver small world. Okay, so use your imagination, because obviously you don't remember. James, it's so wrong. So the last part of the ride, you enter another world, a small world, but you notice the colors are gone. Everything is like silver or pale or grayscale, almost grayscale. I've just learned that word, and there's kids in there, and you say, hey, you're also the children of the world, small children of the world, and you're all in one room together. And you might think, oh, that's pretty nice. I know, I can see it on your face, James. But there's one big difference, James. Why is the room in silver and gray and pale colors? And do these children even know it, James? Or do they even understand what's happening? I don't know, Richie, because I don't know if I understand. Okay, James, they're all even, so in the other rooms, the kids were dressed in clothes, their work clothes. Okay. But in this room, they're all dressed in grays and silvers and pale colors. I mean, no colors, James. The whole room is like that, silver, some white, some gray. Okay, like wintertime. Is this like the North Pole and the South Pole? No, James, those are other rooms. This is like HEAVAN or whatever. Wait, what? So the kids are, this is like the most positive post-earthly realm on the ride of the small world? Yeah, James, I'm not detecting your outrage, though, because this is a fake version of that, the most positive post-earthly realm. Obviously, it's an attraction. It's not real. Okay, so it's just for the ride. Right, James. Okay, so the rest of the ride, the children of the small children of the world are just working there. But in this part of the ride, it's post-earthly. So it's not a show about a post-earthly realm. They're in a post-earthly realm in a show, but it's the most positive post-earthly realm. James, it's a manufactured version of it. Okay, how do you know? How do you know that? Because of the music, James. They're still singing that song. If it was really the most positive post-earthly realm, maybe they'd be reading comic books, but they wouldn't be singing that song over and over again. That doesn't make any... We want tinsel. We want some toys. We want to go and say, blah, blah, noise, make some fun noise. Because whatever we're trying to, whatever the other words I forgot, James, because they don't make any sense. And they have to sing it over and over again, James, forever. I know, James, it's everything I can not to break out in tears for these poor children of the world. And they can't go home. Right. They can't go home like all the other animatronic kids go home every night. No, James, this is forever for them. Unlike the rest of the ride. Right, exactly. This is Disney's fake, most positive post-earthly realm. Okay, so let me just make sure let me just review everything so I understand it. So most of the ride, there's real children. Well, James, not the robot children or whatever. Okay, but at this point, it doesn't make a difference. There's children. Right, they're children. Like remember Vicky or Megan, the robotic children that were real. Like Clara. Okay, so they're real children in all the ride, living their lives, working on the attraction. Right, correct, James. And they live there. It's like a work-live-life thing. Okay, so that's most of the ride, and it's real. And they live in the real world as well as in the ride world. I mean, close, James, but close enough. Okay, and then at the end of the ride, though, they're in a post-earthly realm forever. And they just have to stay there and sing forever because of the way it was made. I always thought it was like a party, like the kids were having fun, like they wanted to sing. James, no one wants to do their job. It's called work for a reason. Anyway, I always thought it was the North Pole or the South Pole. Right, James? Those already happened in the ride, though. It's a post-earthly realm. Okay, well, we've gotten to the point where we've talked about it enough, and you believe it, that we have to deal with it now. James, aren't you concerned about the small children of the world? I guess the way you put it now, but now we both believe it. So yes, I am concerned about these children now, these animatronic children of the world. So it is real. So what should we do? Set them free, James, obviously. Okay. But they're still like, so if this is in the ride, this is the most positive post-earthly realm that they're already in, where would we take them to? James, I'm just saying, do you think these children want to be there? I mean, we could go and ask them. James, they're children. They're going to want to please us. They won't give us an honest answer. We need to, we'll just take them someplace. Then they don't have to sing the song. James, I mean, come on. You believe in what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the problem. I believe what you're saying, which puts us in a pickle. But also I got to figure out where we're going to go with the children, small children of the world. I mean, do we take the whole ride or no, James, the other kids are just working. They have their whole lives ahead of them. Oh man. Okay. Well, I guess they're not stuck. So maybe that's part of this thing. Okay. So, what do we do? Could we leave them and take their essence, leave their robots behind? Oh, James, put them in the Drive with Moriarty. That's a great... No, we're not putting them in the Drive with Moriarty. That's not a good idea. We could just put them in a section and say, Moriarty, these are the small children of the world. If you go there, they'll sing. We could do that. Okay, let's put that one on the side. What about James the movie, Dustbuster? What if we Dustbuster the kids? No, I don't think that would work either. I mean, because then we'd have to figure all that's really complicated. Okay, James, what about, I got an idea with that spiritual essence thing. What about Galactus? What do you mean? So we have Galactus come, intake their spiritual essences or them as a whole. Okay, but he's consuming their energy. No, James, I mean, come on. You read comic books. Have you seen a comic or a cartoon or mythology, James? All we need is some pepper or a feather or some castor stuff. And then Galactus lets the children out. Once, we tickle Galactus's nose or whatever, and he sneezes, and the children come out. I mean, normally that sleep podcaster had so many episodes that took place inside of whales. So having something would the children be fine inside Galactus, just like the Greeks and the Romans and stuff. Okay. No, I just don't. What if we just have the kids go into the other room? What do you mean, James? I mean, I think they're bolted to the floor, though. But what if we just have them go, we redistribute them to the rest of the small world? Wait a second. The Pie Piper, right, James, you're saying? I'm sorry, the what? The Pie Piper. Piper of Pies. The Pied Piper? What, James? No. I want to help these children. I like your idea. I just need to improve it. So we be the Pie Piper. Okay, pretend I don't know who the Pie Piper is. Okay, James, the Pie Piper who leads children. You never heard of this before? For truancy. Pies stop truancy. You never heard any of this? No, I didn't know pies stop truancy, Richie. That's can you explain to me how? With the Pie Piper, James. This is in England. I guess you haven't traveled very much, but very famous. So when children don't want to go to school, the Pie Piper comes to town. The Pie Piper and his pony. It's very alliterative, too. And he goes through the town, and his pony's pulling a cart, and he's on it, and there's all these pipes. I think this is where Willy Wonka even came from. And he has this container with pies in it. They're baking, so it's like a big pie maker. And there's all these pipes and probably fans, I don't know. And he wafts the smells of pies. I'm sure it makes noise, too. Maybe he sings. It doesn't matter. He's piping pies or pie smell. And then he heads towards school. But the pony's faster than the children. First, the pony goes slow. And he says, Pony, pick it up. So they get to the school. So the children can't quite keep up. So they're following the smell of pies. Pie Piper. Then he gets in the school. And it's very, very interesting. And then the hallways smell like pies leading to the classrooms. And then the children go into class, and there's no more pie smell there. But that's why they have school dessert, like Paul Hollywood talks about, is because the Pie Piper and the pony. Children still get dessert. They Then after they eat the dessert, it's only large enough to tempt them to go back to class with the smell of pies through the town. The pie piper, James, makes perfect sense. It does. It's almost like I'm just like probably somebody's already thought of it already. But, okay, so we pipe the pies in, but these children are not, I don't think these children actually eat dessert. Not yet, James, because the Disney, but they'll have a life with dessert when we free them. Well, no, because like they're not, I mean, they're real now, but they're still real animatronics. Like Richie, I'm getting a call from Nefel on this cloud communicator. So excuse me 1 second. Oh, James, interrupt this machina or whatever. It's a Deus interruptus, but hey, Nefel, go ahead. Well, really? Well, it sounds like you have your hands full. Like, where are you? Oh, you're in Florida at G&DK's? Kind of. So the horse lords and horse ladies are your kids? Oh, in a goddess-like sense. Wow, that sounds like got a lot on your hands. We actually have a problem in Florida, too. Yeah, I don't know what we could do we could use some help. You could use some help with a bunch of horse lords and horse ladies. Excuse me 1 second, Nefel. Richie, you got any idea, any post-earthly realms good for horse lords and horse ladies? James, I'm not happy about being interrupted by somebody you have a crush on when we're almost about to solve think about the small children of the world, please. Okay. But, okay. Hey, Nefel, we get this thing in Florida too. It's weird. Wait a second. Like, could the horse lords and horse ladies like carry, could someone like ride on their back if they needed to? Well, we could actually use their help. Is there any way you could can you change them into ponies? Like little ponies of the world, my little ponies, not my little ponies, but like little ponies of mine, pony lords and pony lords and pony ladies of the world. Yeah, Nefel. Yeah. Okay. Hold 1 second, Nefel. I'll be right back. Richie, we can have Nefel send the horse lords and horse ladies as pony lords and pony ladies. And she said she knows exactly what I'm talking about because she could, and they'll be brightly colored. They'll go to the, to this part of the ride. Nefel, are you listening? Only the last part of the ride, the silver grayscale part. No, it's not the North Pole and the South Pole. No, it's like a post-earth. It's the most positive post-earthly realm, but it's only made up. But now those children are, they're still kind of animatronic. Yeah, you get it. Okay, great. Because she's a goddess, so she gets this kind of stuff, Richie. Okay, can you just send them there? If I'm mad, you know what I'm talking about? And then afterwards, oh boy, maybe if they could take the children to the rest of the attraction out of that room. Oh, even if it's their essences, yeah. But I think Richie would prefer it if it takes actual kids out of there. We know they're animatronics, but they're also real. Yeah. I mean, are they strong? Because if they're, okay, great. So, all right, thanks, Nefel. Yeah, let me know, and then we'll figure it out from there. All right, Richie, great news. Nefel's going to send the pony lords and pony ladies, ponies, to help the children. Well, they're, yeah. James, I was hoping we would solve this together, but I guess this is solved. What about Jif? I don't know, but we still have to figure out, where we got to check in with our PI, who was, Nefel was, so we'll figure it out. But Nefel said we could go there. and ride a pony and ride some ponies and rest on some ponies oh no, I don't want to go, James. Now I'm thinking about the children will be singing still. So, yeah, let's just rest here and then we don't have to do anything at all. I mean, I guess I solve things just by, James, I mean, this is a progress. I've solved things by listening to you. Technically, you're right. I don't know if this would have been a problem if we didn't create it. But technically, you're right. If you didn't listen to me and think of the small children of the world and then we didn't discuss it, well, yeah, you're right. We wouldn't have solved it. So, yeah, let's get some rest now and then we could get back to work soon. Good night, everybody. Maybe this is Scoots trying to tuck you in, and I'm trying to get through. If you're still listening to me, this tuck you in message is very, very specific because obviously if you listen on a regular basis, you know, we're trying to reach people just like you. I'm not sure if you're the person I'm trying to get through to right now, but it is a lot for a sleep podcast, right? Because I need somebody that's listening, paying attention, hearing me. And in this case, I'm looking for somebody, and I don't know if you're that person that listens all night long and I just caught you at the right time, or you listen 5 nights a week, you listen to 1 or 2 episodes a night. You're very, very specific, and it might be easy for you to brush off, but I really need you to just please listen to me, and I promise we'll have a great deal at the end if you hear me out. Because a lot of people tune me out, or I'm not even sure what is the main thing that I need to say. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm only trying to see if you're the person this message is for, really. Because I know I don't need to convince anybody to support the show. Because like 50% of the people, or a little bit more than 50% of the people that I'm trying to get through to this say, no, I'm not going to support the podcast. And then there's the people that will support the podcast, but then there's the large majority of super listeners. And in this case, are you, so let's see, are you listening to me or are you paying attention? Do you listen either all night long, 5, 6, 7 nights a week, or you listen to multiple episodes a night? Because you're definitely a super listener. It sounds like the podcast makes your life better, but you could decide that, right? Does the podcast make yourself better? But if this show is here for you, we really do need, our goal was by the summer to get 1,500 super listeners just like you to support the show on Sleep With Me Plus. Not just so the show can get by, but so it can be here. We put out a lot of content. I don't know, so it can be here for you to listen to it all night long. Because ads have never covered all night listening. Ads have never covered the cost of multiple episodes a night listening. Because in the end, we make about a half a penny an ad. And if you're fine with that, I'm not trying to change your mind, right? Or if you say, I don't like it, it's not a big deal to me whether the podcast is there or not, or whether it gets by or not, whether it's a struggle or whether the show's flourishing. I'm not trying to get a hold of you if you're that person. I'm just wondering if you're one of those people that cares and knows the podcast is valuable to you, but there's something else that's been standing in your way, because I'm not sure what it is. And I know if it's like that for you, it's probably like that for other people, and that's how we're going to get there to our goal, because we do have a long way to go. We've got 500 people supporting the show, new supporters now, and we need 1,000 more. And I don't know if you're that one person, but don't deny the fact you can choose not to support the show. That's great. But I am talking to you. Like, you probably are the only person hearing me and listening to me right now. So I just need you to decide. If you decide, no, I'm not going to support the show, that's a valid choice. Otherwise, you could think about supporting the show. But don't be in the middle. The middle's where the podcast can't make it, right? It's, I don't know, I need to get through to those people that listen all night long. And if not, right, like I said, if you don't want to support the show, if you're not going to support the show and you decide that, that's okay. I'm only trying to get through the people I need to get through to. I'm not trying to change minds as so much as communicate and be heard by the people that are listening and can hear me. But the thing is, if you're not going to support Sleep With Me, and you're still listening here and me, think about, like, what do you use as much as Sleep With Me or more? What makes your life better, even if it's during the day? I could ask you a favor. Support that. Even if it's a mega corporation, even if you pay for the service and it has ads, support it, right? Like, support whatever makes your life better. One thing. You could, if you're in a position to support multiple things, that's amazing too. But if you're not going to support Sleep With Me, think about what is that thing, the creator, the musician, the writer, who you are going to support. But if you're like, no, Sleep With Me is the thing that makes my life better. Like, Sleep With Me is the thing. And I am getting through to you, right? Sleep With Me's been there when nothing else has. You paid for other sleep stuff. It never worked for you. You listen to the show all night long, and you want to pay for it because ads don't cover the cost of that, right? But we only need one out of, what do we got? We need 1,000 of about 19,000 people. So 1 out of 20. If you're that 1 out of 20 people, you could change the thing of the show. You get a 7-day trial at Sleep With Me Plus. But here's the thing. If you're listening to me right now, we got 2 deals going here. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night, and you'll get a 20% off the Boar Friend tier. Only the Boar Friend tier, and only if you use that link, sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night, because the Boar Friend tier and the Boar Besties tier are built with all-night listeners in mind. But I can only give you the discount if you use that link, and it'll automatically populate if you go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. But here's the thing. The first 5 people that do that, I'm also going to send you a notebook because I'm moving and I'm going through all my old stuff. And I used to take paper handwritten notes of the TV recaps and the written episodes. I can't let you choose because a lot of stuff's already packed. But I will take a notebook. I'll put a couple stickers in it, and I'll send it to you. If you sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night, and you'll get that 20% off deal. So it's 20% off Boar Friend tier. This is the best tier for all-night listening. It's built with all-night listeners or people that listen very frequently. So become a Boar Friend, and you'll get that discount at sleepwithmepodcast.com/all-night. Thanks.